I feel like a lot of people are going through things in life that they feel like they are alone, but in actual fact, a lot of people are going through the same things that you are, and you just don't even know it. No matter where they are in the world, no matter what colour they are, no matter what age they are, no matter what. I feel like there's a lot of things that people are going through and people are not really being able to communicate and talk about it. Yet, I feel like they should. There's a lot of issues in my life that I feel like, I kind of want to get it off my chest, and I kind of want to see if there are people that are going through this, and seeing if we can just fucking elevate and get to the next level, because it can just hold you down and weigh you down. And I know everyone's talking about, well, just go with the flow, go with the process and stuff, and you'll get to the end result, whatever it is that you're working on. If you want a good body, if you want to work on your relationship, or if you are looking for a partner, or you're trying to be independent, in any case, I feel like there's a lot of struggle goes with it. And in that struggle, you just kind of feel like you're hitting a run, or you feel like you're not getting any progress, or you're going in the wrong direction and you don't even fucking know what's going on, or there's a lot of things happening, personal matters or work matters, that can affect your mood, or can even feel like, you're not worthy enough, you can't do this, you know. And I feel like there's a lot of things that needs to be addressed. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it and be like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm golden. I've fucking done this and that, and my life is great. And I've gone through all of this hardship, and I'm now like able to go advice. The thing is, I want to be able to talk about matters and stuff that's going on in my life, and I would say that I am still in a mess, and it's taken me a long time. I mean, in a nutshell, maybe if someone died, or someone's gone to jail, or you just ran away from home, or anything religious related, or anything, just anything. But I feel like the one thing that people struggle with is being on their own. I feel like there's a lot of times that people feel like, okay, I need to, I feel like I need to look for a partner, or whether whatever reason it may be, whether they just had a partner and it got broken for whatever reason. Maybe maybe they just fell apart. Maybe it was a long distance relationship, if you're going through something like that. Maybe it's something else. Maybe things wasn't working out great. Either way, if you've separated from someone that you had a relationship with, even if it was a loving relationship or not, in any way, shape, or form, your life was around this person, and suddenly it stopped. That dependence, or that feeling of attachment, or that feeling of closeness has suddenly stopped. It's so easy to kind of just want to feel that again, want to feel that attention, and want to feel that closeness. For a man and for a woman. And I feel like everyone reacts to it in a different way, whether it's self destructive once they have a breakup, or they leave someone, or they leave a family member, whatever it is, or whether it's avoidance and isolation, and then they go through a spiral or a dark past, or they think they're healing and they think they're getting on with it, but in reality, no, because it's damaging. The ideal situation would be that they would focus on themselves and they would heal, but that doesn't come easily to everyone. And there's a lot of self internal monologue that people's got to really take on, and some people don't even have that. It's hard to create that, and I feel like it scares a lot of people. I'm sitting here and I'm saying that I'm not great in having that. It's something that you've got to work on. It's a skill, and it's a skill that people don't realize that they have to develop. And you do that once you are in a situation where you are on your own and you are by yourself. It's not something that you can just learn in a book, learn watching a TV show. It's something that you've got to go through the fucking motion and through the works. Um, But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of self development happens when, if you were to leave someone or not be with someone anymore, and it comes from having that self confidence and internal monologue and voicing that. Um, and that doesn't come easily to everyone. And people who don't have that look for it in a relationship, look for it in a person. So they would seek to find someone, whether it's through dating apps, whether it's through going out and finding people. But mainly these days it's through online dating apps. And even if they're red flags or anything that you don't like, people just still accept it. And what happens when you do that? Well, you get in a toxic, well, you can easily get into a toxic relationship. You can easily get into someone that's not good for you, or do things that that other person wants and fulfills them, thinking that, oh, okay, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, that means that, oh, okay, I'm not alone anymore, and I get what it is that I'm chasing, and I get what it is that I want. And that's not fucking healthy. That's not healthy. I mean, I think the main thing, if anyone was to be on their own, is to say, right, I am not going to look for someone. Even if I was in a relationship, I'm not going to go and try and find someone. No, I instead need to put myself back and think, right, what do I need to focus on in myself, in my life? What is it that I'm missing in me that I'm looking to find in another partner? If I'm looking for another voice, maybe I'm not talking to myself as much. If I'm looking for someone to drive me around, maybe I need to know how to get around myself. Because if I'm just going to go try and find a man, or try to find a woman if you're a man, or anything, hoping that this person is going to help you in your life get to places or treat you nicely, I mean, I think you're just going to settle for something that is not good for you, hoping that you'd get that. And what if then that person, let's say you tried to find, gives you that, realizes that you're just using him or her for that, and mistreats you, uses it at his advantage or her advantage, stops things in your life, or stops you from getting around certain places if you don't do something, you know. It can be toxic, because I mean, personally, I'm talking from experience, because I've I've had loads of instance instances in relationships where I was looking for someone, and I don't know, loads of people can relate to it. I mean, I'll just kind of give a brief. I mean, it kind of, I don't even know which one to use, but there was one relationship that I had that I remember I liked him a lot, but I thought I did. And there was a lot of red flags in our relationship. There was a lot of things that he was doing, treated me as, I mean, he's had a lot of issues in himself from having loads of women in his own past, and he's treating him badly. So for him, he chose someone because he was lonely, but yet holding on to a lot of um, bitterness and resentment, and had a war up because he didn't know how he could trust people and how he could trust women. And I was with someone like that, and being around someone like that, it really affects you, and it really makes you think, right, sometimes is it me or is it this and that? And I feel like I'm getting off the case here, but I liked being around him, and one of the reasons was, okay, cool, I'm with him, he provided me a lift to go to work, or to see family, or to go to another city to go shopping or something like that. Cool. That's one of the perks that I saw, but I didn't and I didn't really feel much towards him because our relationship was transactional. It wasn't based on a like communication. Even though I tried to have a lot of communication stuff, but he always pushed it away and just said, "Well, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. We live with each other, so there's nothing to talk about. We're good." But I think that's wrong. If you live with someone, you should be talking to them more. You should be having open communication. But to him, it's like, no, put the TV on, put this on, put TV show on, whatever. You do your thing, I do my thing. But yet complain about certain issues that are not addressed. And it's like, well, because we never really talked about a lot of things. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to relationships like that, that they don't have a good system based on open communication, open that space where they can say, listen, there's an issue, and then the other person can say, well, let's work it out normally, instead of, oh, well, okay, pick up your bag and go, or, oh, okay, well, why am I the issue? And sometimes I feel like people kind of get worried about addressing these things to their partner, because it's like, how can I sit there and say that, oh, I've got this problem, I'm going to cause a fight, he's going to be uncomfortable around me, and if it's going to come across as I'm just making up an issue and then everything's fine, so I can't say it, and then you push it down, you put it down, and it just sits there, and it's going to come out in some way, shape, or form, whether it builds up and you lash out, or whether it's going to come out in an unhealthy way, whether it's on yourself, whether your face breaks out, whether your hormones all over the place, anything. Or whether it comes out and you put it on someone else, or you are always in a mood and you just think, why am I like this, I'm not lonely like this. Well, it's because of some issue that you just didn't address. That's mainly it. That's mainly it. um yeah. And yeah, I remember I one of the main reasons why I was happy with this man, regardless of red flags and bad communication and him having issues, and I'm also coming from issues in my own life. We never really had a talk, but I was with him to have some ease in my life. You can call it that. I didn't have a car because I thought, why would I need one when I've got him? Simple as. Why would I need one if I've got him to drive me wherever I need to go? I don't need to go anywhere apart from, I don't know, work or the shops. And he's willing to do that. Cool. But to be honest, that was my own mistake, because doing that, and I feel like a lot of people also are in that situation where they look to their partner for ease. If he's providing me with something, I don't need to do anything because he's given me that. So I can sit back. But you know what? No. No. Because that's where the issues lie. Because then, guess what? You've given that person your power. You've given someone advantage over you, even if you think that you can trust that person. No, you can't. You cannot. You cannot. Because I remember at times he would get angry. He was like, I'm not taking you. And then he would say in my face, you're just using me for this and that, and for a car, to just, you don't love me, you don't do this, you don't do that. And it caused fights. It caused more fights. Then he's like, oh, well, you don't love me. It is transactional. You don't love me for me. And it's like, well, I sometimes feel like the same way. You don't love me for me either. You also use me for certain things, and you feel like you can't get it, then you don't know how to address it, and you're not letting me go, but there are issues that we're not talking about. Like me also seeing you as someone that I can maybe have a ease in my life, just as you're looking for that in your life, and then as if I'm withholding, you're also going to withhold, and then it becomes toxic, and then it becomes bitter, and then it becomes resentful. you know, and then it can lead to fights, multiple fights. And if someone is married, if you're married and you are having that, guess what? It's going to lead to a divorce or something else, who knows, you know? So if you're looking for some sort of ease in a relationship, and if you are looking to get, let's say, lifts or anything else, whatever it is in your life that you are seeking in a partner, and you can't be independent to get it yourself, that's something that you would need to think and sit back and think, I cannot go ahead with that, because that is going to stop me. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's relationship is different. If you have a really good relationship and there's that proper communication, and his love language is to do that, and your love language is maybe to do that for him, vice versa, whatever it may be, okay, depending on your situation. But if you're coming from like really needing that and not even sure that he's gonna openly give you that, and seek it anyway, and you never had a good communication and seeking things, then he's gonna feel like, or she is gonna feel like, oh, I'm being used, oh, I'm gonna withhold this. And then you seeking that in that relationship and you're not getting that, then what are you getting in that relationship? So you're not getting nothing. Or you would then perform acts that you do not want to do, or you do not feel comfortable doing, to get that. And then you're looking for it as maybe positive reinforcement. If I do this, then I get this treatment, I get the end result. You know, it can be horrible. It can be very, very horrible, and it can lead to a lot of problems. And I think if you leave that relationship and then you go to another relationship trying to find it again, and guess what? You'll be spiraling. You'll just be looking for relationship to relationship. And if it's like, well, the universe is trying to show you what you need, you just need to find it in yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. For example, using the same scenario again, maybe having driving lessons may be hard. Maybe it's a big expense to you that you can't afford. Okay, get a bike. But I don't know how to ride a bike. Okay, you got legs, walk. Public transport, use that. Use any of the means. And even though you may not like it, even if it means, oh, I don't like catching the train, oh, I don't like public transport, oh, it's smelly, it's disgusting, you know, there's all of these. Or it's expensive to get an Uber every time if that's the transport that you're using, or anything. Or if you're learning to drive a car to try and get that independence and you're finding it hard, like, yeah, it's hard, but it's just some things, not everything in life is gonna be easy. Not everything in life is gonna be given to you on a silver platter. And you are gonna have a lot of people that is gonna doubt you and is gonna look at you. Maybe if it's like that partner think, oh, you're trying to get on with your life and you're trying to move on, you're trying to drive, you're not looking for me. Oh, is it because I'm not giving it you? Is it because like whatever? And it can be bitter. You could, or she could try and say, well, good luck with that, or I'm not gonna help you with that. You're doing this now. Okay, cool. Don't look for me then. You know, for anything. It can get bitter. So you're trying to look for a relationship or look for anything and anyone to try and get something out because you seek that. It's actually alarms and bells in your own mind that you need to think, okay, I'm going into this with the wrong intentions. If you're going into a relationship, you need to be in a situation where you've got everything and the person that you want in your life is just gonna add value to your life in a good way, but you're not gonna be dependent on that. You've already got all of that. He's just gonna add it. He wants to do it for you. If you know how to drive, amazing. You got a car, amazing, cool. But if he wants to drive you, okay, then that's fine. That's cool. Okay. But I'm not relying on you to do it because I know how to do it myself. I know how to get around myself. I have my own vehicle myself. I'm not relying on you to do it. You know, and I know I'm talking about maybe a partner, but they can also relate to family. So for example, let's say you're in a family and there's one car, and let's say it's your parents, or let's say it's your brother, and you're looking for that to get a van. You're looking for him or her, your mom or your brother, to drive you to somewhere. That, I mean, I'm talking about whether if you've got that in your situation, they're gonna not want to do that. They're gonna be funny. They're gonna be fussy. They're gonna say, Why should we? What do we get in return?" Even if it's family, they don't give two shits. And I'm talking about past experience, you know. So for example, my brother's got a car, but not once have they ever said, she doesn't have one and she's living like she's not living with us. Let me see if I can like help her. I need to sort out my nails, so don't judge. My nails are a bit up in issues. I'm trying to hide it. But yeah. But yeah, they were saying, even in families, it can be toxic because they will know that you're in a state of vulnerability if you are looking for dependent in family, in friendships, in relationships, in your spouse, in anything. If you're looking to get some ease and to get that access to things that you don't have, you're basically saying to them, I am dependent on you and I need you to do this for me, indirectly. And what they're going to do, whether it's family, your mom, your brother, anyone, they're going to say, okay, I have one up on you, okay, so I can withhold that. I can not give you that. What are you going to do? You need this. Why should I give it to you? What have you done for me? What am I going to get in return? Money? Or you to come around and you to give me company? Or you to do something that I want? But I know you don't want to do it, but I want that. Or you to tell me stuff about your life that's personal, you to let me into your home, or you to let me in. Why should I do, and it could be, it could be anything. So for example, I feel like my situation's very different, and I probably will go into this because I feel like there's a lot of things going on, and I feel like I'm not healed. I'm on the journey still, and I'm still going back and forth. And when you feel like you're getting there, and then you kind of settle back, and then you kind of go all the way back, and you think, fuck, I don't know how to get out of this. But I feel like you just gotta remember that everyone's in this together. Everyone's facing this journey of life together, yet on their own, in their own head, sort of thing. Yeah. But I definitely feel like I'm going to share it because I feel like there's a lot of things that I've learned, and I feel like I can share that. I feel like I can talk about it in a manner that is helpful to other people who are also going to something like that, or similar to something like this. And I'm talking about family issues. I'm talking about religious, like being a Muslim, what is that like in a society, in family, how it can be used against you, and how that can kind of make you feel like you might be distant, or you may not be a good Muslim, or you may not be a good person, or being in a relationship that is toxic, or being in a friend situation that's bad, or a situationship. Just anything. Just anything, But yeah. I would say one thing, and it's something that I'm also trying to learn in this journey as well, and I want to be able to say it to everyone, is being able to be independent and not rely on anyone is important, and it's a lesson that is something that we can't just forget. It's something that we just need to be reminded on all the time. You know, if you're looking, if you're going to someone to get help from someone, remember that you are basically giving your vulnerability to that person. Then ask yourself, can I trust this person? Who is this person? And you may think, well, she's someone or she or he, if it's a spouse, someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with, because I really see a future together. So I'm gonna do this, honey. No, 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 no. What if that relationship doesn't end up well? Or let's say you're talking to someone and let's say you're really feeling the feelings, and you're like, right, I'm ready to commit. I'm ready to see this go through. But you're also depending on a lot of things, and you're hoping that he can provide it for you. You only know this person for a month or 2 months or however long it may be for you. That's not enough time to really know someone. You may think you do, you may be talking for a long time on the phone, on the call, you may even have met several times, but no matter what the situation is, no, don't. It's easy to say. It's easy for me to sit here and say, yeah, don't do that, because you may be like, yeah, but I do not have the funds to have a car. I do not have a place to live. He has that. He can give me that. Then you need to work on the communication. Then you need to work on, okay, maybe I need to really sit down with this individual and talk about this, and then talk about how, if I was to give up my dependency in you, then we've got to also set something where I don't feel like I'm being solely vulnerable to you. You know, whatever it may be, whatever shape or form it may be, there needs to be that conversation first, I feel. Also, if you are going to a family member and you are looking for that, and you want to ask them for something, a favor or something, also remember, can I trust my family member with this? And you may think, well, God, yeah, just family. It's not like that for everyone. There's a lot of people out there who's left their family, who had to get away, whether it is toxic, whether it's abusive, whether it's mentally draining, and they cannot be, whether they were toxic parents, whether they were toxic sisters, whether it's toxic brothers, whether it was everyone against you and you were on your own, and you feel like, oh, okay, now I'm on my own. Because I'm talking about personal experience, because I grew up in a household where it was bitter and horrible and absolute toxic. When I talk about toxic, I mean the way that they would treat you on a daily basis is inhumane. The way they would look at you and treat you, the way they would financially abuse you. The job that you're doing, have access to your bank cards. You can't have access to your money. Want to know your whereabouts. Okay, she's gone to uni. She's doing this amount of hours. Okay, why is she not home at this time? Oh, because she's in the library. No, she's not. Send proof you're in the library. Or you can't be in the library for this amount of hours. You're lying. You're lying what you're doing. Or you're seeing a man, you're seeing a boy, show me your phone, give me access to your laptop, give me access to this, and constantly going through it to, we're not giving you a bedroom, doors has to be open, you have to now live in the main room, and your bed is there, and this and there, and this and there. Why? Because this is exactly what happened to me, and you may think, well, why? What did I do? Nothing. I don't know. Did I ever show disrespect? No. Did I ever show unfaithfulness? Did I ever do anything bad? No. Then what is it? What is it? No, it's nothing. It's just nothing. I mean, I will go into it more detail, but it just depends on everyone's situation. My point is, in my family, I never had that closeness. I never felt that closeness. The moment I left, in a manner I left, they will never forgive me for that, and they still hold me to it, and I think it's been a good couple of years now since I've left, and they will never when I say they will never let me forget, even though I've tried to keep that relationship, even though I felt like I had to get myself out and I was out, yet even to this day, I feel like they've got a chokehold on me and I can't escape. But I didn't know this at the time when I was trying to make amends again and going around to see them and everything, realizing that they haven't changed and fuck, I told them where I am and where I live and they haven't changed, and now they're using that against me and trying to come to my house every day and bang on doors and make me feel unsafe, because that's what they're doing now. And yeah, so let's say in my situation, and I'm sure maybe there may be someone who's going through the same thing, you know, and you want, and you don't have a car, you don't have access to things, and they do, and you want to say, can I have access to, can I have a lift to go so and so and so. It seems like a minor thing, and you'd think family should be able to just provide that for you, but no, because I know that's gonna come with, you're giving, you need us, you need us, and then they will see it in a malicious way. So you're just going because you actually need genuine support, but they're going to try and twist it and say, well, okay, we'll give you this. Let us into your home. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. Tell me about something about your, like, tell me every detail. And you may not feel comfortable telling them. You may not want to tell someone that has caused you so much grief and trauma and pain, and that still may trigger you about every little detail in your life. But if you don't, they're gonna not give you access to it. And it can get even more uncomfortable. And it's best to avoid every situation like that by being able to stand on your own 2 feet. That's it. And it's not easy. I'm in a situation right now where I acknowledge that. The first point is acknowledging that. I feel like I feel like I'm not in a place where I want to be, but I feel like it is a journey. Like, everyone is going through a journey, and I'm not gonna sit here online and say, "Oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that." I want to tell the truth. I want to be open. I want to be open about everything, and because I feel like a lot of people is also going through the same stuff, and I kind of want to show that, you know what, you're not alone, because I know that I'm not alone, even though you may be living on your own, or you may be living with someone and you feel like you're on your own no matter how many people are around you, and you may feel the exact same way, you know but it is what it is. And being able to share that, for me, being able to be open and share that, I feel like it's definitely going to help someone in some way, shape or form, because it's realizing that, okay, I can't do or keep doing what I'm doing, because the only person that's getting hurt or trapped in the process is overthinking. Who? It's me, or it's you who's watching this, because that's the only one that's gonna be hurt in the process, that's gonna be overthinking about things in the process. And you do not want to do that, because it's going to show up on your face. Your face is going to break out. It's going to show up in your house. It's going to show up in a lot of negative ways. Maybe you may lash out. Maybe it may change the way you are, your mood, your facial structure, anything. You may be like, oh, why does she look bitchy or anything like that? And it's like, well, it's not just, it's because I'm constantly stressed. Or why does she look sad? And it's like, I'm not sad. I just can't get this look on my face because it's just subconsciously in my thoughts, and it's like, yeah, so it can be very unhealthy for you to hold on to things that you're not fulfilling in yourself. Easy to say to try and fix, because I haven't fixed it myself and I'm still working on it, but I am acknowledging it, and I'm also acknowledging the fact that there are people out there that are going through the same things. But But yeah, I kind of wanted to let that out, man. I kind of just wanted to let that out. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment if you're going to the same things or if you can resonate with this. But